Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about two keyboards from EPOMAKER, the Carbon60 and the Luma40. And these are both like more compact style keyboards. They're mechanical keyboards and you can use them for gaming, you can use them for regular typing, but they have some key quirks to them. And I'll cover that today. So EPOMAKER did send this to me to test and review. No money exchange hands whatsoever. All opinions are my own. They don't see this video before it comes out. But I do appreciate them sending these to me. These are unique keyboards, and I've had an interesting time trying to learn and go through them. So let's talk about the Carbon60 first. So this is the Carbon60. It has like a wrist strap kind of thing. I mean, you can't really put your whole hand in there. It might get stuck. But it's more of like a hand strap or like a finger strap to just be able to grab the keyboard and take it with you. So if you were holding like a gaming handheld or something, you could just, sling this on a few fingers and carry it with you. So that's kind of neat. It is a low profile keyboard, and you can see that these are red Gatoron keys inside here. So we do have, the fast action for like FPS games and stuff. The keys right here are blue, but they also give you in the package two black ones. So if you want to make it an all black keyboard, you can. And I believe this comes in like a brown as well. I do prefer the reds over the browns just because I play more FPS games, and so it's kind of nice. And at first this was kind of weird to get used to. And I say that because the layout on here is a little different with 60 keys. So we don't have, the up and down arrows and left and right. Instead, that's these actually. So if you hold the function button, you can use these as those arrows. And so that takes a little bit of getting used to. You'll also notice that there's no delete. And so delete, I believe, is function plus B, but thankfully they give you this little cheat sheet inside the instruction manual, so you can try to memorize what the keys are as you go through. So it's been a little interesting for me to get used to this. I have been working with it for the last 2 days to write emails and just go through a full day of tasks with this keyboard, and I've managed to make it work. Yeah, I have some errors when I'm typing emails and stuff, but that's just like a learning curve to getting used to this keyboard. And of course you don't have like the function keys, but you can use like a combination to get your function keys, like to make these into function keys. And then there's like software where you can flip it so that the function keys are these buttons instead. But I feel like that's pretty confusing. And I accidentally did it, and then I had to flip it back. So anyways, you can do a lot of different changes and stuff. There's a lot of functionality with the software to edit things on this keyboard. But again, it takes some getting used to. And at first I wasn't sure how I felt about the keys, but after, playing with it for 2 days and having a wrist rest, that actually made a huge difference, because on the back here, we don't have any options to like give it an angle, but having the wrist rest in, pairing it with the two, that's nice. So, switching to that made a big difference for me, especially for like my wrist in general. But if you were just taking this with you and you wanted to game with it, I mean, it fits nicely in most of the cases, like the TomTalk case. You can slide this in there. It fits all right. I'll show you that a little later in the video just so that you have a visual with that. That TomTalk case is the sling that I usually use for all of my handhelds. So being able to just like tuck this in there too, and just having almost a full size keyboard layout that's still really good and you can game with is a great option. On the top here, we've got an on-off button, and you also have a USB-C. So in the box, you get the USB-C to USB cable, and then you also get a dongle. Almost a missed opportunity. I mean, if they had like an option to slot that in there, that would have been nice. There isn't, and this is plastic. This isn't like a metal, heavy metal or anything like that. This is plastic. So when you're tapping the keys, it's not as satisfying of a sound as some of the more metal shelled cases, like we'll get into with the Luma40, which actually does have that metal quality to it. So this one, still really good. Am I happy with it? Yeah, like I'm still happy with this. I get a couple extra switch keys here. It's hot swappable. You can swap out those keys. They give you the tools to do that inside the box. Actually, sorry, I gave you this is the same one. This is the one without it inside a package. They give you a lot of options. You can pair this with Bluetooth. There's 3 different connection opportunities, like for different devices. So you can do that. You can pair it with the dongle. You can wire it. There's a lot of options with this. And again, this strap actually is growing on me. It's handy. Like if you just want to take this with you somewhere in another room and just set it on your lap so that you can still type away, it's pretty handy. So that is nice to have. I do like the look with the blue and the black mixed in. I'll give you a little more sound testing towards the end with both keyboards, but it is a cool keyboard for the Carbon60. And if you're willing to learn this table of all the different functions, it's not so bad. I mean, getting used to it over the last 2 days straight of working with it for full 8 hours, it's been interesting, but I mean, I've been able to do it. So once you get used to it, it's a lot easier. You start to remember some of the codes, and then it's not so bad to use. But let's go over to the Luma40. Now, from a size difference, this is quite a bit smaller, but it's also heavier because this is metal, and you could knock somebody out with this. It's like a little bit bigger than a brick for, well, it's probably pretty close to a brick size, actually, when you lay it out like this. But it's obviously not as thick as a brick. But you have two options here. There's a wireless option, and then there's the connected option, essentially on and off again. But you can do the same thing where you can pair this to 3 different devices. It has the USB-C to USB cord, which has this like neat little hook on it. So like, I kind of wish this was on the 60 as well. That would have been nice, but it's not. It's not, and that's a missed opportunity because this is really cool. So the dongle is like tucked away on this, you know, really easy to grab onto the cord. I don't know. Maybe it's a proprietary. This is cool though. They should have this in the box with the Carbon60 in all their boxes. That's a neat little place to put the dongle. Anyways, enough about that. Also have the key puller. They give you a screwdriver in here as well. I'm assuming that was for, actually, yeah, that's for these. So you have to install this strap, and I had to figure that out. It's just like 2 screws, but that's what this is for, which I didn't even realize that this was in the box. So, I mean, I used, you know, my regular screw set, and that was fine. And you also get like a card in the box with the manual. There's scan codes in there. There are the different codes in this box as well for combinations, because you have even less keys with this keyboard. This is like as slimmed down as you can possibly get. Like there's no delete as well, but the one thing that was really tricky for me, oh, also you have the up and down arrows on this one. So just imagine, you know, how many keys we lose by, you know, having these in the configuration. You don't have to imagine, I'll show you here. But the keys between the two, I mean, you lose the Alt and Shift and stuff on the other side, so you have to just kind of stay to the one side for when you're typing. Makes it a little bit tricky, but I actually really like this keyboard. And you don't have the number buttons, but the number buttons are like a function and A, S, D, F, all the way across the board. So then I play this fun game. I'm like, okay, 0 should be this one, and then this should be 9, and then, you know, to like type and try to remember what everything is on this keyboard. But yeah, this thing is like solid. And of course it's gonna fit in any bag that you have. This one can actually fit around my wrist, but again, you can just grab a couple fingers and just carry it with you. Hot swappable as well. Inside the instruction manual, it doesn't give you like a full cheat sheet, or maybe I'm losing my mind, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It's not a full cheat sheet. It has some of the shortcuts for the keys, but not in a way that I loved. It's like in a long stretch. Anyways, what I did is I went online to the manual, and then I printed myself off my own cheat sheet, and that's made it easier for me. And what I really wish is that the shortcut for the 60 was the same shortcut for this. And I understand why it's not. It's because we have a different amount of keys. But when I go function and B for delete on that keyboard, and then it's function and X for delete on this keyboard, I'm like, okay, gotta get this straight between the keyboards. So ideally you don't have both keyboards and you're not learning 2 different full charts of combinations. But if I had to like pick a preference for keys and how they feel, this one feels good. Like this is a satisfying sound on it, and part of that is because we have a high quality chassis here. We don't just have like a plastic frame. This is like solid, and it feels great. It feels like a quality keyboard. And then when we turn it on, we have the RGB. And the other one has the RGB too, and you can go through different signals right now. It's on the dongle mode, and so that's why R is flashing, because it's trying to pair to the actual dongle. But when you press the keys on this function, pretty sweet. That's just the pattern that I've set it to right now, but there's a lot of different patterns that you can set. You just kind of cycle through whatever function button it was on this list. But it is a pretty cool keyboard. So both of them are very feasible for gaming and doing emails and things like that, and whatever you need to do. But they're two different styles of keyboards. And again, low profile, but it really depends what you're looking for, you know, what's going to fit the need. If you want something really compact and small, this thing's pretty sweet. If you want something a little bit bigger, but still pretty compact, I mean, the 60 is going to give you those bigger keys, especially if you have bigger fingers. You might, you know, tap some of those other buttons, but for my hands, like this is totally fine. This is well within my range of being able to tap the keys, and it's got a more satisfying sound. But let's go over into a sound test for you. I did mention that I would show if this fits in the TomTalk sling bag, and it does. You know, here it is. You can fit your gaming handheld in there. You can fit the Carbon60 in there. The Luma40, of course, will fit because that thing is even smaller and more compact. So it fits beautifully in here. But these are great options if you want to have like a smaller form factor gaming keyboard. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll leave some links in the description. And if this is helpful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care till the next one.